A woman is trapped. Her hair is already on fire. The threat that she would have burned to death is very real, and with the seconds to save her ticking down and no time to spare, the heroic actions of one police officer are making major headlines today. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ron Hoon. Thanks for starting your 10 o'clock hour with us here on Fox 10 Talks. This is really an incredible life or death type story. And our Dominique Newland has been on it since early this morning. Dom, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Ron.
This is a story that has, now we should point out, she went to the hospital in critical condition, but they do say she'll survive.
Yep.
So tell us what you've learned about the story so far right from the start. When did it happen? Where did it happen? And what do we know up to this point?
So, I think we always talk about when it comes to these police officers protecting and serving. And this case was really the epitome of protect and serve. So this happened at around 4:30 a.m. over the weekend on Saturday. This was on the I-10 near 91st Avenue. And Goodyear Police, they say this officer, he was actually returning from booking a suspect into a jail intake when he came upon this crash out on the freeway. And there you can just see the flames, the video. One of the cars was fully engulfed in flames. A woman who was trapped inside, she was honking her horn for help. So that officer, he ran up to the car. He ended up breaking the driver's side window, pulled that woman from the burning car. And like you said, Ron, her hair was on fire because you can just see the car fully engulfed. So her hair was on fire. He tried putting out that flame with his hands, which ended up causing him to get some burns on his hand as well.
Yeah, now it's interesting because this is the video that Goodyear PD has provided to us, and they do occasionally put some graphics on the screen. So he did have, he pulls over. I'm sure he sees the flames. He has to quickly run back to his car, get that device that all officers have. He acted fast, used a fire extinguisher to put out the flames on her hair. She was then transported. While the officer, as you say, did. Now, how about this? It was later revealed the woman was a daughter of another officer on the very same police force.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that part just incredible.
Yeah.
But as you have watched this video, we've all seen it several times, you just don't know if there were, did he have 10 more seconds left to save her?
I know.
She's suffering burns as it is.
It's so terrifying to see. And just her legs, even in that moment, because it's not like he can just go and open the handle. Everything's hot.
Right.
So just having to pull her out of there and just seeing her legs flailing like that. Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time, because even I feel like if it was a couple seconds to a minute, it could have been too late.
Now, do we have any idea what led up to the fire itself? Right. What can you tell us about that?
So that information we're still working to learn from police, but we were kind of camped outside of Goodyear PD earlier this morning. An officer actually came over to us, and he asked if we were covering something else, and we told him we were covering this incident from over the weekend.
Yeah.
But you could just tell the pride they had, because you said it was had a good ending. And so he was like, yeah, we're all really happy for him, and they're glad it really did have this happy, because just this video, it's incredible. It's scary. To see.
Well, particularly, and we talk about it every day, you just don't, look, there. Okay, so it's 4:23 in the morning. Now, again, was this on the 10 or was it over at 91st Ave? It looks like it was actually on the freeway, right?
Yeah, that's what they said, near 91st Ave.
Oh, my goodness.
There.
So we talk about it all the time. By the way, Syleste joins us well. And, when we consider it's just another day on the job, and I've actually, I've emceed events in the past. One I remember from years ago in Mesa, and there are life-saving efforts that happen every day that never make the news. And I'm sure, by the way, we're working to get an interview later today at Fox 10 with this officer.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to say it was all in a day's work, but truly, we're talking about a real life hero.
Yeah, putting his life in danger as well with those flames. And then, too, he had those burns on his hand as well. But we're told he's going to make a full recovery. He went to the burn unit afterwards, too. But we're told he's okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? As he's walking up to this, this is the most incredible thing. Good morning, Dom.
Nice.
This is the most incredible thing, is that they walk up on these scenes day in and day out, and they never know what they're going to walk up on.
Exactly.
It could be a domestic domestic violence call. It could be this crash that we're looking at with this video. It could be like a house fire they're called out to help with, medical emergency. And they have to be ready to think so fast.
Yeah, and a one-man band too,
Right?
just by himself without a partner before EMS shows up. So
And that woman pulling her out with her feet. Her feet were outside of the window.
Yeah. So it looks like I think what was going on there, I don't know if you have any insight, Dom, but she, I think, was kind of prone in the front seat and trying to kick out the window.
Yeah.
But she couldn't do it.
right, that's what I was thinking too. Seems like the only reason. And then he used whatever tool he had. They were able to break that window, and he was able to pull her out there.
One last question here, and then we'll let you go. When you said you had this interaction with the officer today, can you tell us a little bit more about? I know it was just a brief conversation, but it seems like maybe there's a sense of pride across the entire police force today.
Because, typically when we're, as reporters, when we're outside a police station in the middle of the night fronting a story, most of the times, 9 times out of 10, something bad happened, or it's something from overnight. So it's kind of nice when we can share this success story, a good feel-good story. So when he walked over, he asked if we were covering some type of training that they had going on that day, and we're like, no, we're actually here about what happened over the weekend, that officer saving a woman. And he was like, oh yeah, and he was like, yeah, we're all really proud about that, and he did a great job. So he had a smile on his face. It was nice to have that exchange, and you could tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Dominique, thank you.
Thank
Great
you, guys.
report. We appreciate you.
Of course. Have a
good
great
day.
podcast. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dom.
Hey, the next story that we thought we would update everybody on has to do with this just horrifying story out of New River. And there is a major update. People, when we learned that there was a beloved pastor, person after person, who either knew him in the community of New River or attended church with him, when they heard the news that he had been found dead in his home there in New River, this pastor, questions have been asked right from the start. Well, the sheriff's office now says they have identified, there's the home, by the way, the scene of this just horrific, gruesome crime, this killing. Details are limited, but they do have a person of interest. Beyond that, we don't have a lot of additional info. It all started last month. Bill Scheineman, Pastor Bill, was found dead, and sources say that he was found sitting on his bed, his body. At that point, he was dead, with his arms kind of stretched out, almost like in a cross-type formation. His hands were pierced and tacked to the wall, and we're also told he had serious injuries. So the update is this. They do have a person of interest, and we are going to work to try to find additional details, but we may be able in the coming days to announce some sort of a resolution to that case, Celeste, at least in terms of the announcement of an arrest.
Well, and I think the community in New River, it's such a small community that I think that maybe police have really been digging and investigators and detectives were able to find some good information. I mean, at this point, somebody has to know something, so it's good that they have a lead that they're working on right now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, on to our next story, and boy, it's making some headlines, that's for sure. Elon Musk has come out to say that he is disappointed in what President Trump has been working on the House so far, working on the House with the big, beautiful bill, feeling that it undercuts the work that DOGE has been doing, the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, he has stepped back from that, but here's what he said in an interview. I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, does not decrease it, and undermines the work that the DOGE team is doing. I think that's one of the questions, Celeste, that people have been having. There are all these headlines now about all of these cuts happening at all these agencies. How is it possible that spending is going up?
Well, maybe they're saving in one area and spending in another, and unfortunately, maybe these are some of the things that we need in some areas of the government. We'd have to probably take a closer look at the budget.
Yeah, I think for sure. But, I mean, he's not mincing words right here. He said in a post on X that he had to be super focused on his companies, but obviously he's keeping a very close watch as to what is happening in Washington. he said that he basically now has kind of broken with the president that it is, it may be big and beautiful, but it spends too much. And so it leads us to our poll question this morning. What about the big, beautiful bill? 16% say, by the way, if you haven't voted yet, you can grab that QR code. 16% say Musk is actually right, spending too much right now in government spending. 59% say just keep it the way it is. I trust the president. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And then 25%, by the way, each person that grabs that QR code, these numbers will start moving around. There should be no cuts at all. Doge is out of control.
Oh.
So there are your
So
three.
who heads up Doge now that Elon is no longer there? Is it the president himself?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the day-to-day grind of it all,
Right.
I go back to that interview that Brett Baer had because he had all the other managers that were working on various functions.
Right.
So it's got to be one of those guys. And
It's a
but in terms
number
of who it is.
crunchers.
Yeah, they are all definitely number crunchers. And so let's go to the Dave cam right now. Hi,
Hey,
Dave.
Good
Hello,
morning.
friends.
I know that we only got to the poll question a little while ago, but have you been seeing any kind of reaction yet online, Dave?
We have some good comments coming in. Michelle Q9J says, agreed 100%. I don't know what Trump is doing, but I didn't vote for more spending. And Ocean Girl 505 says, in order to save our country, we must cut spending. We already are in debt to China. Cuts are painful, yet necessary. And I have to add in, she also added, hi, Dave. So, hi, Marianne. Thanks for watching from New
Okay.
Mexico.
So now we know how you become one of the comments that Dave's going to read.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Dave, that's great. Who was that one more time?
That is Marianne in New Mexico.
Oh, and she's one of our newer commentators, and we appreciate her for sure. Celeste, you're busy interacting with all of our viewers as well.
Yeah, Angela Brockelman said, on summer break now, so excited to be able to join the whole FFT, or
Oh,
Fox
nice.
10 Talks,
Okay.
FTT
Yeah,
gang.
for sure. All right, so if you're new to the streaming show, we do it every morning, 10 o'clock, Phoenix, Arizona time, and we interact with you every minute of the whole hour between 10 and 11 on the YouTube chat box. We are going to take a break with a kind of a mysterious looking mystery cam right there. You got some high rises over to the right. I'm trying to see, is that like a city hall or a church or what? You can guess where it is, and we'll be right back. Take
Welcome
it away,
back,
Syleste.
everyone.
Yeah.
This is your mystery camera this morning. And we now have a very special guest, Ron, joining us, and he wants to guess as well.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, from Phoenix Police, Sergeant Bowers is joining us. He's our special guest guesser. By the way, we have a great story. We're coming up with him in about 60 seconds. But, hey, I'm going to open your mic. You got a guess where this might be?
So I want to let everybody know that you didn't give me the answer. So this is a guess out of my own. It's flat, so I'm thinking plains, maybe Tennessee to Texas.
We got to.
Well, I'd say Texas. I'm going to say.
I must accept one state only.
I'm going to say northern Texas.
No,
Yes.
now you're getting specific. Which
There
one
we
of
go.
their counties? I mean,
Only because I've been to Dallas area. It's
Okay.
definitely not Dallas. So
All right.
I'm thinking somewhere north of Dallas. Still a semi-large city.
oh yeah, 'cause they have. I mean, some of the suburbs of Dallas, especially on the north end of town, are their own mega cities now. It's incredible. All right, Celeste, what are you seeing?
I'm going to see, I see plains. I see cloudy skies, potential rain, maybe some muggy conditions. Ron, should I continue? I'm just kidding. I'm going to say like Iowa.
And how about in the chat box? Anybody
Chat box.
jumping on? yet?
We do. We have a Pennsylvania from B. Miguel.
Okay.
A Husky Mom says Utah. Angela Brockelman says Nevada. Tulsa, Oklahoma from Lisa Dinsmore. And Louis Gonzalez says Colorado.
So Celeste, you said what? By the way,
I forgot. Iowa.
Iowa.
Texas from Jen's Wall as well.
Doing this show is a memory test. I will just say, I'm going to go back east, and I think I'm going to say the thing is. I can't figure out if those are churches or city halls over there to the very far right. They're kind of like Art Deco style. Anyway, I'm going to go back somewhere on the East Coast. It'll be like, I'll go Virginia. Let's see what Celeste has as our
All right,
answer.
here is our mystery camera.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and open this up. Overland Park, Kansas.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I've been there. I actually stayed at the Courtyard
Oh.
in Overland Park.
Was breakfast included?
No, not at the Courtyard. You have to get to one of your Fairfields
Or a Hampton Inn?
or I'm keeping it in the Marriott family, or a Residence Inn.
Are you on the Bonvoy app?
I'm Bonvoy, that's for sure. I don't think it gets you anything. No, actually, it gets you a welcome gift,
Yeah.
which is usually a bottle of water.
Thank you. Yeah, and you get free Wi-Fi, Ron.
Come on,
and
Marriott.
potential late checkouts.
Oh, good. Yes, right. Anyway, okay. So why do we have Sergeant Bowers here? A lot of people think it's to be the new permanent guesser on the mystery.
Oh,
Camp,
yes.
but we can tell you it's not that.
He did a great job.
Actually,
Good morning, by the way.
Kansas was pretty close to Texas.
Yeah,
I was in the ballpark.
so.
Yeah, for sure. No, we wanted to get some additional info because what was going on, I'm going to roll the video here so everybody has a chance to see what it is we are talking about here. But the whole story to us when we first heard about it was, so you can see that was back over Memorial Day weekend, and there was a real focus on, there were two different semi-trucks that were stolen. Is that correct?
So it wasn't the trucks themselves, it was the trailers that were stolen.
Okay. So do they oh, by the way, here, okay, very quickly we saw
Passed
the
by
mug
really
shots.
quick, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll try to get back to that in a minute. But so how are they doing it? How are they committing the crime?
Yeah, so this is a very sophisticated theft process. It's being investigated as a possible syndicate that might be coming from California. So we're still really early into the investigation. I've been speaking with the detectives quite frequently about this case. But the pictures that we have up there on the freeway
yeah.
closure, that
Why-
was
why
on the
did they-
26th.
Okay, why'd they close the freeway down?
So again, like I said, this was the 26th. So if you think of it, the 25th, the day before,
Yeah.
the same place had 3 trailers stolen, all with over $3 million worth of property.
Really?
So because we're talking about such a sophisticated theft, so much money, we don't know what the violent potential of these individuals are. So when the owner saw these same trucks or similar trucks going into the lot on Sunday, they were suspicious. They called into 911. Luckily, the same patrol officers that did the investigation the day before were ready and responded quickly for this one. And that's why we were able to find both of these semi-trucks quickly, as well as a vehicle that we believe was a spotter vehicle.
Okay, now listen. Celeste is the brainiac.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Oh,
bit.
I don't know about that.
I'm a little bit slower here on our streaming show. So you're telling me and Celeste and our audience that these guys, what they're actually doing is showing up with their own stolen semi-trucks? Is that what they're doing?
We haven't confirmed if the trucks themselves were stolen. They
Okay.
did have fictitious plates on the vehicles, but yes, it's their own trucks. They're going into this yard, and how sophisticated this is, it's even beyond my understanding, is they go through and get fake dispatches. So they'll go through the different warehouses, electronic database, and their dispatch, and they get a fake dispatch, which allows them access into the yard.
That is crazy.
Then they'll hook up the trailer and leave.
So walk us through what this park is. Is it a place where semi-truck drivers can park and sleep, and that's kind of the purpose?
Exactly. So if a semi-truck driver is local, they can park their trailer here for the day, a couple of days, go to their family, have a little vacation, spend some time with their loved ones, and then they'll have their belongings ready to go when it's time to get dispatched to another location. Or it
Wow.
could be a staging place for some of these truck drivers to take it just halfway to the next staging point.
Okay, now there are the 4 mugshots. Again, we have this video on a loop. What do we know about these guys so far?
So we know all 4 of them are working together. We know that they're all involved in the same type of work. Right now, detectives are really digging into the weeds on if it's related to other situations that happened, not just the day before, but we're talking, this is a national problem. It's kind of a trend that we're seeing all across the country where you have these larger criminal syndicates, this one specifically coming from California, that are coming out here, stealing these trailers. A matter of fact, one of the trailers from the May 25th theft was found in Riverside, California, empty. And that was one of the trailers that had almost $1 million worth of product.
What did they
gone.
steal in that one?
A lot of TVs, televisions.
Are those the Samsungs that we
Those
were
are the
talking about?
Samsungs, yep.
Albert Mesa in the chat box has a question for you, Sergeant Bauer. Does this seem to be intercontinental? Like, what happens with all those TVs or all these energy drinks, so to say? Do we know after they do something like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Some of it's going to be sold on the black web. It's going to be sold at people's houses. So if you're on Craigslist, if you're on one of those platforms where you see a really great television and it's a great deal, it's probably too good to be true, and it may be a stolen piece of property from this situation or from other incidents that happen around the country.
By the way, we are going to be carrying just a little bit later this morning a news conference out of Scottsdale on a ring that has a criminal syndicate ring that has connections out of South America. Where do we think this syndicate originally operated from? Do we know anything about that?
Right now, the detectives have only been able to establish that all 4 of the individuals that were arrested are residents of California. So it's working in conjunction with California law enforcement officers as well as federal investigators to find out exactly where the hub and following the money trail and finding out where it goes and who is overall responsible.
You know, a lot of these things, I feel like over the course of the last many years, we see in big cities like maybe like a Chicago or an LA or Miami. Does something like this, you know, like does the department think, okay, we're becoming a really big city now where you see a lot more of this type of organized crime?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, we're seeing our big city problems, Phoenix being the 5th largest city in the country. We're starting to catch up when it comes to some of these larger syndicates. We've seen it with other situations in northern Scottsdale area, which Phoenix was helping out with and assisting on those investigations. So it's always been around, but this is such a big bust, and because of the great work from the patrol officers and acting so quickly, they're able to stop that. But this seems like it's just a very large money amount of stolen property.
So I have one more question, Ron, for Sergeant Bauer. Can someone get in trouble, Sammy G asked, for buying a stolen TV without even knowing?
So purchasing stolen merchandise of any sort is illegal, but what happens is it's you as the purchaser, how do you know that it's stolen? So when an investigator will speak with you, they're going to ask, well, how much did you pay for it? Is that reasonable?
Yes.
And that's really the likelihood is it reasonable that you paid that much money for a television that's worth X amount?
65-inch TV and you bought it for $50.
Oh, no.
Good luck explaining that one to the judge.
We have
exactly.
Paul Gravlin in the box, actually, the chat box asked as well, and this is a good question. Do you think these are related at all to some of the train robberies? Like, do you find that maybe they're sometimes
yeah.
interconnected, the ones that we saw up in Flagstaff?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's definitely something that our investigators will look into. Like I said, because of the value of so much property that was taken,
Yeah.
we're going to be working with California local law enforcement. We're going to be working with federal partners, and they'll be able to get into the weeds and see where all the connectivity
You
is.
are
Interesting.
always a wealth of information, and you're always welcome as one of our guests here on Fox
To
10
guess on the
Talks.
mystery camera, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. Thanks, Sergeant Bauer.
Thank you.
Okay, our next story has to do. I love these takeoff videos. Look at that. So this was SpaceX, and there were all kinds of problems. If you haven't heard about it, their 9th test did not go as planned. Now there was nobody on board. They're still in the uncruised phase of it all, but the flight faced all kinds of issues and broke apart, tumbled out of control, uncontrolled into the Earth's atmosphere, and it's not 100% clear where the rocket landed, but they think it's somewhere out in the Indian Ocean.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
Celeste, they got to get this figured out because eventually, they're going to be launching more and more of these at some point with tourists aboard. I think that's the whole idea, and this one is more related to the mission to Mars.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think about that. You don't know where it ends up. Good thing nobody's on board there yet. No humans, at least.
Right. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that, but boy, it's getting a lot of talk, that's for sure. Celeste, I wanted to ask you from when I'm going to give you the these are the top burger joints in America in terms of sales overall. McDonald's is obviously number 1.
Okay.
Who would you guess is number 2? Now, I'm going to give you options.
Okay. Multiple choice.
Yeah. Burger King, Wendy's, Whataburger, Five Guys.
Oh, number 2?
Yeah.
Wendy's.
You are correct,
Really?
Celeste.
Well,
Very
here,
nice.
Five Guys, you have to. They're one of
Walk
my
in.
favorite burgers.
You gotta
but yeah,
walk
walk
in.
in.
I
Yeah,
know.
you gotta walk in.
BK, Burger King is 3rd, and then 4th is Sonic, and then Dairy Queen.
Oh,
I
DQ.
usually go there for a ice cream cone.
Oh, a dilly
Oh,
bar.
a dilly bar,
Or a dip
absolutely,
cone.
or a Buster bar. They have so many good options. But do you of all the fast food places? My favorite is not even on the list.
What's that?
In-N-Out.
Oh, I know.
So I think it's only because they're regional. And by the way, they're just opening. They're starting to go national. They're just opening up a new store out in the Nashville area. So they're going
Yes.
East Coast.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. For all of you folks who live in Arizona, when we didn't have an In-N-Out here, you had to stop at the one in Palm Springs. You had to drive to Palm Springs and go to the outlet mall and make a pit stop at the In-N-Out.
And then when they finally gave us our very first one, it was up on Frank Lloyd Wright in Scottsdale. They had to bring the police out to control the traffic. That's how popular it was.
I know. Do you remember when they brought White Castle out?
Oh, yes.
Oh, brother.
Hey, it's time for another break. And then coming up, we are going to dig into that other big criminal syndicate case out of Scottsdale. But first, this break. Hey, welcome back. Beautiful day, it looks like, in the great Northwest up in Seattle. We are inviting Isabella to join us this morning because we're standing by for a news conference out of Scottsdale on a kind of a crime syndicate story. In a weird way, not related to the other one, we don't think, the stealing of those semi-trucks.
Right.
But what have you learned about this? And then we'll go to that news conference once it starts.
Yeah, well, 7 people were just arrested on Friday, and this is what police believe to be connected to the South American theft group. So
look at this. When they did the initial appearance before a judge, there were so many of them. They had to take their turns at the podium. Okay, so
there's
what have you
7
learned?
people, 4 women, 3 men, and they were in their 20s to 30s. The youngest person who was arrested, only 23 years
my
old.
goodness.
So yes, as I mentioned, they believe that they're all connected to the South American theft group, a theft crime ring, and all 7 people that were arrested in Scottsdale on Friday were from Colombia. Now, this goes past the valley. This goes all along the West Coast, where this group is targeting high-end homes all along the West Coast, from California, Oregon, and even Washington. So when it happened today, when it happened when they were arrested, there was 2 burglaries, 1 in Tempe and 1 in Mesa. Police were able to get a tip from authorities in Burbank, who let them know this group may be coming to Arizona. They used drone footage, and they were able to trace this group to a group short-term rental in Scottsdale, and that's where they found them and all the stuff they'd stolen.
Isabella, thank you.
Thank you, Isabella. Lots of good info. We're going to take you there live, just starting.
And some arrests that were made Friday afternoon in Scottsdale related to a group of 7 individuals who came to the Scottsdale community for the purpose of committing burglaries in neighboring communities and around Maricopa County. I want to briefly go over our itinerary for this morning so you all kind of know what to expect and what's going to be coming up next. Also to remind everybody that Burbank Police did provide a news release on May 27th, and that document is available over at the table over there. And any further information not provided in this news conference can be obtained from Burbank PD's PIO group. In a moment, I will invite Assistant Chief Chris Watson up to speak in generalities over the case. He is the chief over our detective bureaus, which obviously played a huge role in locating and eventually arresting this group of 7 people. After he's done speaking, I will come back up and give just a little bit more in-depth review, talk mostly to what we talked about or what was mentioned in the news release, add a few other details and some things that we've learned since the arrests on Friday. And then after that, I'll invite up Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell to talk about her office's involvement in this case and where we sort of stand today with our group of 7. Once she's done speaking to that part, we'd like to have, if there are any questions related to what her office's involvement is, happen at that time. That way she's kind of up here one time for that, and then I will come up at the very end and I can answer some other questions potentially about the investigation if they're not answered through the rest of the news conference. So that's going to be the general flow of it. Again, I'll get out of the way here in a minute. Assistant Chief Watson will be up here. I'll come back up, give a more detailed summary of the events that led to the arrests. Then County Attorney Rachel Mitchell will be up here, talk about her office involvement, answer some questions specific to that, and then I will come up at the end and then, again, answer hopefully any other questions that might be here. Looking to get us done, as quickly as possible, but we want to make sure that we can answer as many of your questions as you might have. With that, I'd like to welcome up to the podium Assistant Police Chief Chris Watson.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning. I want to start by saying how truly grateful I am to work in Scottsdale and to live in what I think is the greatest state in the United States of Arizona. It's important for me that as we begin these conversations, we delineate between the millions of visitors that we have that come to Arizona each year for the reasons that we love this state so much, for the right reasons and in the right ways. That we delineate between that group and groups such as these 7 Colombian nationals who came to the United States to commit crimes and who came to Arizona to victimize our community for their own benefit. This work was a result of collaboration and communication between many law enforcement agencies, not just here locally in Arizona, but throughout the nation. And it really began with the Burbank Police Department. I want to thank them for their investigation, the work they put in ahead of time, and their communication in a timely manner to the Scottsdale Police Department. They really gave us the opportunity to bring in all our resources, to have all hands on deck to ensure a proper response to this group. I also want to thank the Maricopa County Attorney's Office and County Attorney Rachel Mitchell, Tom Van Dorn, their entire team for their commitment, their dedication to holding these types of criminals accountable, and all criminals accountable, and the message that it sends to crime tourists who are coming to Arizona to commit these types of crimes.
Okay, we are going to continue to monitor as this news conference unfolds, and you can watch it all, by the way, on a separate stream on our YouTube channel. But I just, Syleste, I thought we could bring in one more time Isabella, because you did have one more interesting fact, Isabella, that we should talk about.
I did. So the group of 7, once they were arrested, they served a search warrant to the home they were staying in, the short-term rental in Scottsdale, and they recovered a lot of items from the other burglaries across the West Coast. And something that was really sad that was found was a French bulldog that was taken from a burglary in California they were a part of.
Wow, those are very pricey dogs.
Yeah, and it sounds like they were going back and forth, right? They had a stolen bulldog from Cali that was staying with them in the rental in Scottsdale. So who knows how far back and forth they were going. And you said the extent of the alleged crimes went all the way up the West Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
California, Oregon, and Washington. But the good news is they did say efforts to reunite the dog with their owners are in the works.
And I'm also, and maybe you on YouTube or at home that we're watching, I'm floored by the fact that one of the women who was standing there in orange was fixing her shirt like it was a fashion show. It's like, what is going on right now?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It is absolutely
this is a
crazy
story.
And Isabella, we really, I mean, the work that you put in to get some of those additional facts, I think shed some extra light on it.
Yeah, thank you, Isabella.
Hey, let me just ask here, you guys, do you have both of you been to Yosemite?
I have not.
I also haven't.
Oh, I highly recommend it.
I'll add it to my list.
I was over there a few years ago, and I did the big hike up the massive waterfall. I bet you, there's El Capitan.
Did you also free climb El Capitan?
Free climb?
Oh, yeah. All I had was my, what do they call them? Campons?
A campon?
Or no. Are they clamp-ons?
I think campons is something else. Crampons.
Oh, by the way, so you go through a tunnel and you look at it and you wait a sec. That's not Yosemite. That's
the Grand Canyon.
Oh my goodness.
Why are we talking about it? Well, the Park Service says that visitors can anticipate longer lines, and they can also expect dirty bathrooms. Now, we did some digging. Some of these national parks, there have been some budget cuts. I'm sure you've heard about it. We're talking about roughly 10% of the workforce it goes up and down based on which national park you're talking about. But 90% of the workforce in most of our national parks is still there. And now they're saying the bathrooms are going to be dirty and they're closing campsites. We're trying to figure that part of it out to make sure it all adds up.
So they're closing campsites and renovating the bathrooms.
Not renovating the bathrooms.
Oh,
they're going to be dirty. They're almost promising that the bathrooms are going to be dirty. Now, honestly, I mean, budget cuts are tough. But one of the things we would like to find out is, are managers, for example, rolling up their sleeves or still sitting at a desk? Are they getting out there and helping out in terms of some of the... Oh, but there's that waterfall, by the way, right
Oh,
there.
how pretty.
I climbed to the top of that waterfall, you guys.
With the campons.
In Yosemite. So we're showing Yosemite where we're talking about all the national parks. And you know, I mean, it could be a little bit of a tough summer, but hopefully they can figure out how to navigate without people having to experience dirty, stinky bathrooms.
That's not great.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe you just take a baby, you know, like they have the baby toilets, you know, in the back of the car. Am I the only person that's ever gone on a road trip and taken that for my kids? When they were toddlers, it's like, if we can't make a potty stop, this is your option.
Okay, so there's that going on, and then we have another break coming up. But first, what about you guys? Here's how you get free donuts today. Okay? Krispy Kreme. The great people at Krispy Kreme. They're offering a 3-pack for free to every single graduate of the class of 2025.
They're not
Isn't that cool?
Well, they're not checking your like
ID
or transcript.
Or your diploma?
No, they're not asking for the diploma. So
Okay, what are the requirements, Celeste?
just the cap and gown.
Okay.
So if you can find a cap and gown, I think there's a Goodwill near you.
Yeah. Celeste.
I have my ASU cap and gown. You'll be my mom.
There you
We'll
go.
go.
Let's go.
When did you graduate ASU?
2023.
Okay. Yeah, good. Celeste is
go.
also a proud Sun Devil, and
I am,
I'm a
Forks up.
UW guy, University of Washington.
Huskies.
Go
I
dogs.
don't know if we're ever going to play each other on the field, but by the way, big shout out to Coach Kenny Dillingham. Later in the last 20 minutes of our show, you'll find out why everybody's talking about him this morning and what it has to do with a super popular video game. It's all coming up. But anyway, congrats to all of our grads, and you can take Celeste's almost criminal type of idea and go buy a cap and gown at Goodwill or wherever.
Well, hey, I mean, they don't know if you graduated with your master's or a PhD.
Yeah.
It could be anything. And by the way, Sammy G said I bought a Pee-wee for hiking and road trips. So sometimes when you got to go, there's a couple of ideas on those road trips or hiking trips.
By the way, just do the math on Celeste's idea for a sec. You go over to whatever thrift shop, you spend, say, $10 on a cap and gown, and then you get in your car and you drive over to Krispy Kreme to get the 3 free donuts, which you could have just bought for $6.
Let me tell you something. If you go to Savers on a Monday, everything's like $2. So head there, wait for Monday.
One other or a couple more quick comments on the burger world, Celeste. What are people saying?
So did you talk about this at the top of the show, that it was National Burger Day?
Well, we just did,
Yeah. Okay. So National Burger Day. And so we threw out there some of the people. Most of you said you loved your favorite burger was making it at home.
Love it.
Yeah. And lots of people said, you know what? I like mine. I think one person said it was with an egg on top.
Okay.
Yes. Delicious. I think
good.
Angela Brockelman, somebody said that their mom makes it with the donut. The donut is the bun.
That sounds really good.
It does.
Delish.
Somebody was saying they're making their own home with Hatch chilies.
Yeah,
that was Ocean Girl 505.
That was me too.
Yeah.
We are going to be transitioning now from that really super cool shot to the center of the screen is Detroit, and just beyond is Canada. That's Windsor, Ontario. On the other side, a little piece of trivia. It's the only place in America where you can travel southward in the United States.
That is a beautiful shot.
Only place in America that you can travel southward.
What is that? Southward?
To get into Canada. Think about that.
Oh, yes.
Every other place in America, you got to go north.
North to get into Canada.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the transition from that to this. Check it out.
Here it comes.
The gentle rainfall. So we got these pictures in, and you can tell there's like almost no wind going on, but it's like the most peaceful. Oh, look there. Can you hear that?
That's amazing.
Let's just let it breathe, as we say in the biz, for a sec. Ready? Here's your moment of zen, everybody. I love this.
It's so peaceful.
Yeah, it's about 30 miles north of Atlanta in Woodstock, Georgia. And they did say they were going to get rain through much of the day yesterday. Matter of fact, we were live with our friends at Fox Weather yesterday, and that was exactly what he was saying. They'd had a lot of storms moving across Texas and Louisiana. It was bearing down on Georgia. And for once, it's not leaving behind a lot of trouble. It's just creating a kind of a peaceful moment.
It's so amazing. Look at those
great?
beautiful manicured trees.
Yeah.
Terry Green's got a great, landscape company working on her property.
Yeah, for
it's like really awesome.
Right?
This is like a high-end community.
Okay, we are about to share with you the most hilarious video of the day. Celeste and I both are very big fans of what we call the dumb criminal file. And because it's like there's a new dumb criminal every day, Celeste.
Unfortunately.
Correct. And what you're about to see, you just have to just soak this video in here. There is a guy, an arsonist in Australia, who tries to set this building on fire, but in the end, he ends up setting his own pants on fire. I don't know if he's a liar.
Pants on fire.
But his pants, as you're about to see, are on fire. So if you're ready, here we go. Okay, so first of all, the guy's doing the damage. He's busting down that door.
Victoria Police Department sharing this video from the surveillance camera.
Okay.
Oh, look at him just busting through like he owns a place.
Right, yeah.
Oh, he's got the gasoline.
Oh, boy. Okay, now, I don't know if he's going to pull out a cigarette lighter or what his source of the fire is, but watch this now.
What
this
a
is going
creep.
to totally... Oh, look, he's like sliding on the floor.
He
doesn't even
it.
think about the fact that... Oh, watch.
Oh,
Whoa.
no.
Oh, no. Oh, that poor man.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Don't you remember, like, second grade? It was like, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah. Okay, so he obviously ignites the fire, and his pants catch on fire, and this is out of Victoria, that part of Australia. They say the beauty of the whole situation is, despite this guy's efforts to burn the whole thing down, looks like what? Maybe some kind of a restaurant setup or something? That it only sustained minor damage. Police say the businesses were targeted back in November as well. And so they released the security video. And I'm sure they released it because they want to get this bumbling arsonist captured and put him on trial.
Well, I got to say, maybe they should check out some of the nearest hospitals or maybe the burn unit. Because that guy looks like he probably burned more than the pants.
Yeah. Okay, now here he is. Here's the escape one more time.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it looked like it was really only his pants that caught fire. So we don't know where the burn might have been.
Dumber than a box of rocks, Dave Brusso says.
Yeah.
Dave, we're with you this morning. That was in the chat box this morning.
So over the course of the morning, with our great friends at Fox, we always get these amazing videos that come in, and we say, oh, we have got to share this with our audience on our ever-growing audience of our streaming show, Fox 10 Talks. And we think you're going to like this next one, but let me just do the setup. We can't, we have lots of restrictions, rules that we have to play by, and we can't get the okay to use the music that they're using here, but this is the story of the beatboxing nun. And she has got the moves, Celeste.
Yes, she does.
And we're going to roll it, but because we don't have the rights to the music, I thought maybe we could provide our own.
We're going to get creative this morning.
Little bit of a... Ready? Together? I think we can do it.
Let's roll the video.
But let's roll the video, and here comes the beatboxing nun, and I'm trying to remember where we're going. No, that's that. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay, all right, Celeste, ready, go.
It eases in. Oh, move. I'm a nun. And I got some moves. And I know, don't even say I got none. And then my brother, the priest, comes here.
Oh, look at the priest. He's got the moves, too. Look at this.
And we moving. We moving around.
So,
we praying it down.
And it looks like, oh, Celeste, you're on a roll here. So here's the whole setup. So you've got the, oh, look at, she's even doing some of the beatboxing, too, right there. And so at first, you know, they're kind of moving around to the music a little bit. And the next thing you know, she has got the moves. And then the host, it's the lady in the blue shirt. You know, she starts her moving and grooving. But I love where the priest, at some point, he's like, you know what? Look at this.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is spontaneous
he joins in
or
on the
planned,
fun.
But
I don't know.
look at that.
It looks very spontaneous.
Correct.
And look at the nun. She's just like going at it.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Now, Celeste, am I correct? You were raised Catholic. Is that correct?
I was raised Catholic.
Did you have any nuns that had these kind of groove moves?
I was not fortunate enough.
No, really? Okay. All right. Well, look, I mean, if we have
any groovy nuns out here, like, let us know where we can find the groovy nuns. Maybe they are part of a groovy nun network or something.
I mentioned earlier today on the show that one of my, as a kid growing up back in the 60s, this is going to sound hilarious for anybody who doesn't go back and watch like some of the old shows like Hogan's Heroes, you know, or Happy Days, or just some of the funny Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, I loved Laverne and Shirley. So
Mayberry,
fun.
I Miss Mayberry, that kind of thing. But there was once a show, Celeste, that was called The Flying Nun.
Oh, really?
And it was Sally Field.
Did you pull up an image or anything to show us?
No, but you could Google it.
Yeah.
And I believe there are some episodes that you can find online out there, but it was about a nun who flew because she had this big habit, and she was able to kind of twist the habit this way, and she'd start flying off to the left, go this way, flying off to the right, and she was up there looking for criminals, Celeste, which is generally not a part of the job description of your average nun.
Not usually. Was she carrying also, Ron?
No, I don't think so. It was a simpler time in the 60s. Okay, so The Flying Nun, I got to give that some credit. Do you have a favorite sitcom from the old days, from your days growing up? I know you said that you love Three's Company.
I love Three's Company.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say probably MASH.
Oh, yeah.
Remember MASH?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, it was so great. Like, they all kind of ran together. I loved it.
Let's do this. Let's bring into the conversation, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my
B.
goodness.
Webb. Look at him there. It's Brian Webb.
Hey, Brian.
Ready to go. We're going to call him up live.
What's
Hello,
up,
friend.
guys?
Well, we were just talking about our favorite sitcoms growing up. Did you have one? I cited The Flying Nun. There was also one called My Mother the Car. I'm trying to think.
What about Parent Trap? Or was that just the movie or the show?
I think it was just the movie. How about you, buddy? Or Hogan's Heroes. I
liked Hogan's Heroes.
Or The Munsters. Now I'm starting to think of a bunch of them.
The Addams Family.
All right, Brian, what'd you grow up with?
You know, Gilligan's Island was in my wheelhouse.
I thought you were going to say I was so smart I didn't watch TV. I read books all day long.
Yeah.
That's where I thought you were going.
Yeah, right.
You look like you were contemplating.
No.
Gilligan's Island, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour. It was only supposed to be a 3-hour tour.
It just happened to be right when
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and somehow a millionaire and his wife are on there with all this money, with a girl from Kansas and a movie star, right? Yeah, I don't
Good
know
for
how
you.
that. I think you just had to let it go.
Yes, you did.
You know, and just enjoy the hijinks.
And they had the coconut radio and the whole thing.
The whole thing.
That never seemed to work to get them help.
Yeah.
For the whatever it was, 4 years the show was on the B-Web. So, Brian, we're talking to you because you are going to continue the talk later today on Fox 10 Talks. What's going on?
Yeah, so we started a little trial balloon here after you guys did of trying to do something in the afternoon, and our thought was maybe kind of an intimate type look behind the scenes.
Okay, like
at
that.
how this all comes together, you know.
Yeah.
So the thought was, instead of talking to the reporters about the story, we would talk to them more about how they do the story, how they know what questions to ask. Have they ever covered anything like that before? You know, what do you do when you get to a wildfire and there's a barricade up and there's nobody around to talk to?
Have you put today's Have you put today's show together yet? If we watch later today, what are we going to see, or do you know yet?
No, we do it live at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
You know, I think this is a great idea, Brian. I'm gonna have to get on YouTube and chime in the chat box and watch too. Here's the thing, Brian. You bring up a good point. How many times have us as journalists we camped out at like a senator's house for hours in the heat waiting for the interview?
And you're like, is there a Circle K around here?
I gotta go potty. And then, or you're down on the border I was down there for a presidential visit, and I lived on the border for a week, traveling from Douglas to Yuma. You know, and so I think it's a great idea.
Love it. We love it. Okay, when can we watch?
Well, I missed you, Ron. Did you say when can you watch? It's 3 p.m. on Wednesdays.
Okay.
But yeah, Celeste, that's the whole point. What's going on during the day that you had to go through, not go to the bathroom for 6 hours to get your story on?
Yeah, well, I have to say, my Aunt Mary was like, what do you do all day? You just go on TV at 5 p.m.? And I'm like, no, like I spent all day putting this story together.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, B-Web.
All right, buddy, see you soon.
That's Brian, and you
Congrats.
can watch him later today. That's super cool.
It is
But we're not going to make you wait even more than 2 minutes here with what Ty and Anita are cooking up. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So the summer heat is upon us, the sun. We, obviously we're exposed to the sun year round here, but it is a little bit stronger in the summertime. So we're chatting with a woman who had basically open heart surgery and wanted to protect the scar, and came up with an entire line, a clothing line and a line of scarves for women, so that you could be fashionable while protecting your skin from the sun.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, and she has a really neat story just about the battles she has faced, how she created this line, and there's some very special aspects to it as well.
All right, that's coming up in 2 minutes.
All right.
Ty and Anita, here they come on YouTube.
it's my Thursday because I have a day off tomorrow.
Oh, must be nice.
But it's
No,
Wed-
Friday. You have a day off Friday.
Friday.
Tomorrow's
Gosh.
only Thursday.
Oh, okay. Oh, just kidding.
She almost had it.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Fox 10 Talks with Ty and Anita, and Ty, and Wendy.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wendy. It's nice to meet you in person. I
Yeah.
saw that great story that Anita did with you not too long ago, so it's nice to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, same. Nice seeing
You have a really neat story for a number of reasons, but it started with a medical need.
Yes. Yep. I had open heart surgery about 5 years ago now. And, you know, as us girls do, we were happy to be fixed, but also didn't want the scar on my chest. And so I got with my esthetician and I just said, hey, can you help me with all the things I need to do to heal this scar nicely? And she gave me all the products. And then she said, you know what? The most important thing is not one drop of sunlight. She said, not for 1 year. She's like, not through the car window, not through, you know, your shirt. Like, you have to cover it from the sun.
Why did they say that?
Well, when you have a wound, all your pigment of your skin goes to that wound, and that's why it becomes really red, and because everything kind of rushes to heal it. Well, that pigment can dissipate with the right products, keeping sun off of it, but the sun, unfortunately, bakes it in. So a lot of times people will have a scar, and they're like, oh, this is red or this is turned brown. It's because they didn't keep it out of the sun.
I had surgery on my foot. And my scar is really, really red. It's flat, but it's very red. And I think, well, number one, I think I have a lot of pigment, right?
Yeah.
But also, in order to start moving and rehabbing, I would walk in the pool, and this was in August.
Okay.
And I think that because it wasn't wrapped, possibly. Can we go back? Because we have a lot of people already. Lisa Dinsmore's chiming in saying, I don't hide my scars because every scar has a story, which is really interesting. Do you feel like talking a little bit about the medical condition? Because I think a lot of people can relate to these types of surgeries.
Yeah, and I definitely don't necessily hide my scar, but I just wanted it to look as good as possibly could.
To heal as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I had a mitral valve prolapse, a heart murmur. A lot of people have it. It's very unsymptomatic, if that's a word, unsymptomatic, in women. And I just knew I had it from as a child, but it was never something that limited me. Could do my thing, you know. It's kind of the take an antibiotic when you go to the dentist, sort of a thing.
You worked out,
active. Yep, fine.
But you knew you had this. It was kind of you knew that this was an issue.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, heart murmur. And then in about 2009, I went to the cardiologist. And, you know, when I was growing up, age myself here, we didn't have ultrasound technology. We just did EKGs. And so I go to the cardiologist, get a physical, and about a month later, I get a phone call. He's like, so did you see a cardiologist about your heart? My regular doctor, and I was like, why would I see a cardiologist about my heart? He's like, the ultrasound, the echo said, you know, you have this going on, this leak. And so then that preceded this whole chain of events of getting opinions, and I finally found a cardiologist. In fact, my top that I brought today is named after him. It's called the Rammy, this one, because he saw me and thought, you don't have symptoms of someone who needs open heart surgery right now. And so he did a different test where they actually put the camera down your throat. They look at your heart from the backside.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's kind of a normal test. It's not fun, but
Were you
it's
awake?
doable. No.
Oh,
no.
Wendy.
I know. I was thinking the same.
Well, you're supposed to be kind
Well,
of awake, but I was freaking out, and so all I heard was "knock her out." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great.
Thank
Put her
God.
under. Yeah, please knock me out. I don't want
You're
to be
a
awake."
mom. You're a wife.
Yeah.
I mean, there's and you want to be active. I think you were, if I remember your story correctly, in real estate at the time.
Yes, I was in real estate here in the Valley for almost 20 years.
So you're running a business. You have so much going on.
Totally.
Yeah,
and
terrifying.
it was and. You know, what did we do back then? Probably what we do today, WebMD. So now I'm like diagnosing
Freaking out,
myself.
right?
I've got to
Yeah.
go do all this craziness. And it wasn't until 2020, so almost a decade later, that I ended up having to have the surgery. So they just started monitoring, looking at it. And with heart surgery, it's a balance. You don't just go in there and do it, you know. And with valve repair or replacement, if you have it replaced with an artificial valve, then you may have to do that again in your lifetime. And I didn't have that, thank goodness. They were able to repair it. And my scarves actually are named after my surgeon because he was the only person who said, you're too young. we don't want to replace this if we don't have to, because that comes with blood thinners, which is not fun. And he was very confident, but he said, I have to get in there, like in there. I said, okay.
So he gets in there, and then your dermatologist says, don't let any sun on there.
Yep.
If you want to heal.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this, and no disrespect to the surgeons out there that are watching, but like when they do something like this, I mean, they're not like plastic surgeons where they are making like the best incision. I mean, they're going in there for a reason.
Right.
So, but I mean, they do their best to try and minimize, I guess, the scarring. But again, it's a pretty noticeable, sizable scar, right?
Right. And I think that, I think surgeons, they can do a really good job. So it's just really about, my surgeon that I found, he was very, he said, I get it. And he had done a surgery actually on a gentleman that had a tattoo. It was like a piece of art. And his assistant had told me, Wendy, he is so meticulous and he really cares about the patient and he gets it. Like he gets it. You want it to look as good as possible. And he pieced that guy's together, that artwork perfectly with the scar.
This is the piece that you and I did several months ago, but I know there's video of your scar in it, which is why I wanted to play it. So it's not just the pieces that we want people to see, but it's the scar. And so that is you wearing different scarves. Yeah. And this is why you came up with your line. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
You wanted something pretty and fashionable.
Totally. I started shopping. I took it seriously when my esthetician said no sunlight. I understand like the sun's ramifications on the skin. So I was like, okay, I got it.
And especially when we live here in Arizona,
You're
I mean, we're
always
out
every day,
all the time, right?
Every day. And that's really what I tell people. It's one thing to go, go to the pool, go do stuff with your friends. It's the daily drops that are really affecting you.
There's a picture of the scar. Yeah. So I mean, this kind of like
dish towel.
I do the same thing though when I walk. I do the same thing. I'm constantly trying to cover myself with different things.
So that's what kind of this all started. This is that you were really taking this to heart, that you wanted to protect that. So that's why we saw you with
intended,
the I didn't even realize I did that.
Pun intended.
Wendy, look how good I am.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I got that.
That was clever, Ty.
Well, I didn't even listen. It just comes out sometimes. My talent just flows.
Exactly.
Wendy.
Yeah, it's just so natural. We don't even know.
But so you really were, making sure that you were doing what they said, and that's what kind of spurred this on, because you were just putting anything you could find to kind of cover up that scar.
Yep. I started shopping for sun protective clothing, and I just was like, gosh, this stuff's not really my style. It's not cute, or it's not cut feminine, or it's hot, or whatever it was. And then I thought, wait a second. I love fashion. Like, I follow fashion like my husband follows the Buffalo Bills. If you know, you know. It's just it's very painful.
We know.
And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to create it. Like, I know what it is that I want that I can't find. And so it's been really fun. Like, we're going on our 2-year anniversary in July.
For you.
Yep, it's great.
What was your first piece?
Our first piece was this top, was the Rami, which is named after my cardiologist.
And there's more to it.
Yes.
The design is very, very special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Rami's going down.
We're good.
Rami's going down.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Just so you can kind of get a better idea. So this was the very first piece that you made.
This was the very first piece, and we designed it because we wanted it to feel lightweight, but give the, so in clothing, it's UPF. In sunscreen, it's SPF, which stands for sun protection factor. Clothing is ultraviolet protection factor. And so we wanted it to have UPF. This is a UPF 50, but we wanted it to feel nice. We wanted it to not be so hot and thick. And then we put some really feminine details on it. We have this one in a crop waist version. We have one in a full length version. And it's really meant to pair with whatever it is you're doing. So I tell people, where is your sun, right? Your sun might be on your daily walks. Your sun might be on the pickleball court, on the golf course. This is really meant to tie in to whatever it is you're doing.
Now, did you know all of this, like as far as fabrics and the SPF versus whatever you called this? What'd you call this again?
UPF.
UPF. Did you know any of that before going into all this, or was this kind of like once you started getting into it, you started kind of learning on the fly?
Yeah, so I knew what SPF was. I mean, my kids will tell you the only 2 things we remember growing up is put on your sunscreen and drink water. Yeah, Mom, I broke my arm. Did you drink some water and put your sunscreen on today? So I knew about SPF. I knew how important it is to protect your skin from too much sun exposure. I did not know about textiles. Taya will tell you, I was a big consumer of fashion.
I know.
Big consumer, yes. But putting myself on the other side was definitely a challenge.
Sure.
But you know what? We did it. I actually found a local company here on the ASU campus called Fabric Incubator.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've been there. It's fantastic.
It's so great. They help small brands get started because the one thing in fashion is it's very difficult to make small quantities, source, small quantities of fabric, like all of that. And so Angela Johnson and Sherry Berry of Fabric, I love to give them a shout out because I would not be here today without their help.
Sure.
Linda is asking if you used vitamin E on the scars.
I did, yep. So I used vitamin C serum, I used vitamin E, I massaged it every day, and then I just kept it out of the sun for 1 year. And it looks great. Yeah, I didn't bring it out to show today, but it looks good. Yeah, no, it looks really good. It looks great.
We have 3 minutes before our break. Tell us about the design.
Yeah, so the logo of a Syleste is my late mom's handwriting.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
she passed before I had heart surgery. Actually, that same year, 2020 was an event for all of us.
Oh, it was,
Lost
right?
her in 2020.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Had my heart surgery in 2020. And when I developed the brand, the name Syleste means eclipse in Italian, and our tagline is "Between You and the Sun." And
That's
then
clever.
I knew that I wanted a logo that was timeless and feminine. And it just occurred to me one day, you know what? My mom had the prettiest script. And so I got out her old recipes. I traced the letters. I got with a graphic designer, and we actually made her handwriting into a font.
Oh, that's
And so
cool.
that's our logo.
So this is her E.
That's her E.
That
Yep.
is cool.
That's her
Isn't
E.
I
that
love
neat?
that. That's a
Yeah.
great
It's
kind of
almost
tribute.
full circle. So you have a number of different scarves.
Yep.
I think these are really neat.
Yes, yep, the gloves.
The driving glove, because you don't realize when you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
Even the gentleman, we had a photographer here who on his left arm had to have a bunch of skin cancer cut out because of that very
Yeah,
reason.
And I'll tell you on the car, this is so UVA, UVB rays are really the culprits when it comes to aging the skin, damaging the skin, all of those things. UVB stands for the burning rays, so that's what's tanning you, changing the color of your skin. UVA, we call the aging rays. Those rays come through the car. So UVB doesn't necessarily penetrate your car windows, but UVA does. And so UVA is like sneaky because it's not changing the color of your
Sure.
skin. So you don't notice it until 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. You think, where are all these sunspots? What is going on?
I know. I swim daily, and I was
Yep.
just looking at that too. That even though I wear sunblock,
You need one of
I know.
these.
And
Yeah.
I did it. I
Yeah.
did a piece with a dermatologist yesterday where we were talking about sunblock, and he said, "Just wear that.
Yeah.
Just wear
Yeah.
that." I have the little dress, and I was like, "Should I wear that in the pool though? That would be tough."
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll
Kick
get
with
you one of
it.
these.
Yeah.
I'll get you one of these.
But yeah, it's so important. You don't think about it.
Yeah, and that's like that skin that's exposed all the time, every day. You're
Yeah.
right here, your shoulders, and then there's the thin skin, right, with your chest. Your neck
Sure.
is like not the same as the rest of your body.
We've got about 20 seconds
Yep.
left. We're going to come back. If you can stick around for another little
Yep.
bit, come back in 2 minutes, and we're going to have much more with Wendy on her product. I really want to talk about like how you got started
Okay.
and kind of those maybe hurdles that you had as kind of a first time.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a question on cue from Albert Meza. What is advisable for scars and scar tissue? Obviously, you can only give your opinion what you did.
Sure, yeah. Well, I definitely you want to wait till it's healed until, your doctor says it's okay to start putting things on it. That's really important. Vitamin C serum, it helps dissipate pigment. So that, just putting that on, I put mine on in the morning, and it just slowly over time, that pigment started to fade.
When did you still do this?
Yeah,
No,
you don't need to anymore.
I don't need to anymore.
Okay.
Nope. And then I would massage it at night with like a vitamin E oil. And then I always wore a silicone strip to sleep
I was
at
gonna
night.
ask you if you did that.
Yeah, because that helps flatten it. So
Oh,
that
really?
is like
What does it look like? Is it like a
s-
Band-Aid kind
yeah,
of thing?
like
It's
you
like
can-
a clear.
it's like a sheet.
Yeah,
You can
because
cut
I-
it to size.
I put
or-
them. I used to put them on my foot, but I have a little. It's called Silogen.
Yes.
that's like the best brand, and I still to this day am putting it on, and they
Yeah.
get better every day.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
But that kind of helps keep it flat.
Yeah.
And then keep it out of the sun. And then
This
be,
is
you
a
know, be
special
patient.
scarf that you created.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to get into some of the stuff that you brought because
Yes,
you've got a lot
yes.
in your line now.
So-
So it started with this, right? This was the
Started
first
with that.
thing.
Yep. And then we launched the Merrick scarf, which is also UPF 50. It's silk. They're huge, which you could see. They're like 35 by
wow.
35. They're really big. I'm wearing the black multi.
How did you tie that? Like
So-
this?
Yep.
And then like
You look like you're going to like a crab boil. Hers looks very nice.
Well, she doesn't have a mirror, But this scarf is really special. So we launched something in the last couple months called Eclise Curio Collectibles. This was a scarf we did for the Waldorf Astoria in Park City.
Oh, cool.
My daughter and I designed these. She does the artwork. If you open that up, you'll see actually she did a hand
Oh my
drawing
gosh.
of the aerial view of the property.
Go
I think it's
upside down.
upside
There you
yep.
go.
There we go.
I
And
grew up in
then-
Park City, so I
Okay,
know
yeah.
it well.
Well, when
The-
you go there, you can buy
that
one.
is so
They're
cool.
exclusively sold at the Waldorf. This is their iconic feather.
Wow.
We did their logo. We actually have one coming for the Waldorf Astoria in Chicago.
Look at you
that's where I
guys.
grew up.
Oh,
You got
there
both
you
of our
go.
hometowns here.
I love
that.
this. Yeah,
That is so
yep.
cool.
And then maybe some local resorts coming soon.
Yeah.
We-
So is silk naturally UPF?
It's not.
Okay.
Nope. So we go to great lengths to source fabrics that are UPF. It's a rating. It's not something I can just say something is UPF. So if your clothing does not say it's UPF, then
It's
it might
not.
not be UPF. And so I think a lot of times we think our shirt is actually shielding us from the sun, but it might not be.
So how do you, when you started this and kind of did all this research about finding these fabrics that were UPF, how difficult was that, or was it?
Oh my
And
gosh.
to source, I guess, to source
Labor
the fabrics
intensive.
too.
Yeah, I mean, having the fabric incubator at ASU was helpful because they
Sure.
really turned me on to different textile shows. They taught me about textiles like I thought I knew, and I was like, oh, apparently I don't know because there's different ways you can sew different textiles and all of those things. And then I just started figuring out. I mean, I did a lot of Googling. I took a lot of classes at Fabric. I spent time around people that were in this industry. And it
Sure.
was funny when I first was doing it, I would meet someone and they would start talking to me and I would sit there and I would shake my head and then they would leave and I'd get my phone and be like,
What did
I
they
have
just
no
say?
idea what they just said to
I
me.
just I have no
Translate.
idea what
Yeah,
I just
like I have
know,
no
too.
idea what all those acronyms
So
mean
every
or
single
anything.
piece that you create will protect you from the sun.
Yep, will all be UPF.
Wow.
Wow, that's so cool. All right, let's go over some of the other
And
stuff.
cute, by the way.
It
It'll
is
be
cute.
UPF and
it is-
chic and
I think you
elegant
could
and
teach
cute.
Anita how to.
I know you have to show me how you do that. But not only is this great to buy for yourself, these are great gifts, I
Yes,
think.
yeah, and they come. I think there's a box here, but
Yeah.
they come in a really great box because Eclise is really skincare you wear. We
So
really
that-
want people to think of this. This is a beauty product. This is part of your beauty routine. It's also really cute, and you're going to wear it for all sorts of activities. But it
That's
is
cool.
part of your beauty routine because really, effective skin care routine. The crowning jewel is sun protection.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? How can they find you?
So they can find us at eclisebeauty.com.
It's ECLISSE.
Yes, it's Eclise.
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 And also at the Arizona Biltmore,
Okay.
the global ambassador, the Phoenician. We're at Nakey Face on Main, which is an aesthetics office. My vision for this when I started it was to create a wearable skincare product.
Yeah.
And so it's really exciting to be in some of these spas and on the shelves
Yeah.
next to skincare. At first, people are like, "Wait, I'm going to put scarves by the skincare." I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing," and so that's what's happening.
What if someone? So Sherry Nevada Pup says she can't have silk next to her skin because she has psoriasis.
Okay.
Do you have, or do you recommend, anything that won't irritate her skin? Because these are pretty soft, Sherry.
Yeah, I'm actually not familiar with what fabric would be best with
we'll have to look into
psoriasis. But now that you've asked that question, this is how I've learned this entire
See,
2
you
years.
you might have a scarf next
So
month.
find us online, and within a few days, I'll have an answer to your
There
question.
you go.
And then
Look at
you'll
you.
help me create a new product
There you
that
go.
I didn't
You
even know
never
was going to happen.
right? Yeah.
All right, so we're always doing weird things on this show, Wendy, and you just so happen to
And
be
you're
here
going to be part of it.
Okay.
on Donut Day.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Are
Donut
you
tip
hungry?
fee.
Oh, can you smell that? Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
Bashus is
Put your scarf away. I don't want you to ruin it.
know.
It's not a bib. It's not a bib.
Jasmine, thank
This
you.
Jasmine.
Hi,
Meet
Jasmine.
Wendy.
Hi.
You're gonna have to share your mic with
Oh,
Jasmine
no
over there.
problem. So Bashus is having a contest.
This is
Okay.
their 10th annual.
They do, yeah. They've done it every year for 10 years, and it is the donut flavor craze contest. Everyone.
Okay, so we have to.
So donut date's on June 6th. So for the whole month of June, they're gonna have all these donuts, and so these are the 10 finalists.
So can people buy them?
No.
There will be 2 winners.
Two
Yes.
winners that'll be chosen, and they'll have that in
That will
there.
be on sale
So,
for the
Okay.
Anita, you and I were chosen as judges, so we have to
And
take
here they are.
great pride in our. Oh, get up in there.
Get
up in there, girl.
And Jasmine is actually going to be here for me on Friday.
Yeah, she's filling
So
in.
she's going to be tasting the donuts. So
Such a tough
technically, she's
job.
judging.
This is a
Technically,
very-
she's judging, but
All right.
everyone gets a bite.
Can we?
All right,
I don't-
let's
I
start.
don't wanna
Are you
get-
okay with this? This
I
is
mean,
not
if
what
I
you were
have
expecting.
to,
I cut them into pieces for us, so we
Okay.
can start with the Island Kiss donut.
Okay.
Pineapple filled donut with pineapple glaze and sprinkled coconut. That one.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me move these so we
Okay.
don't get them dirty.
Do you bring plates or napkins?
No. But we can use this paper.
Okay.
Oh,
We can use this
Well,
paper.
this is as good as it gets.
Hold
you
on.
guys.
yeah.
This is
Okay.
fun.
Oh,
We almost
Oh,
lost
we
it.
lost.
Again.
I know.
We lost Remy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I cut it into
wanna grab
threes
these?
if you want to grab a piece.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh, sorry, I
This
don't
is a
know.
lot to happen here.
And then
Oh.
you have to
Then we
rate
can-
it on a 1 to 10 scale.
But I don't want to do this in front of them.
Well,
it has to be secret. It
Oh,
has to be
yeah,
secret.
on your paper.
Oh,
Okay.
and then we'll turn it in.
Yeah, then we'll turn
So
it
can I
in.
just
Say it out
tell
loud.
you
Yeah.
underneath?
What you think?
Okay.
We'll text it to everyone.
All right, so let's
I'll
look
keep-
visually. Looks great.
Yes.
Hold
you
it
go
up.
for it. You go for it.
Hold it up.
Okay, here. I'll just grab a piece of roux of this.
Grab the other.
Oh.
Well, I didn't want to touch everybody's. Okay, so here's what.
I don't know.
Well, this wasn't very well thought out.
You know what?
That's okay. Yeah. Oh,
She's a
Well, you
mom.
got. Look,
Yeah.
you got the big piece.
I did.
Wendy.
Oh,
10 of
thanks,
those
Jasmine. This is really gonna be.
Okay, this is
Oh,
what is
uh-oh.
this one
Smells
called?
good.
Oh,
This
it's
is
mine.
the Island
Okay.
Kiss donut. Here, you can
Wow.
be the reader.
Island Kiss.
First of
donut.
all,
Yes. By Credence,
oh,
age 9.
And don't feel like you have to eat the whole thing, Wendy.
But
we were.
feel free to.
oh my God.
I'm gonna put this back
You
here.
can put this right there.
That is good.
Oh.
Summary.
Are you writing down keywords
Do you
for
want
us?
me to put keywords?
Well, we just have to score it
Oh, okay.
right there on a 1 to 10.
Do you want to say it out loud, or do y'all
No,
just
no.
want to like
No.
give me?
I'm gonna do it at the end because I don't know, you know.
Okay. At the
Yeah, we
end.
have to.
Wendy, you're really gonna eat 10 donuts. You can put that
Wendy,
right there
you
if you
can
don't
put
want to.
that
down.
Thing.
Are
Okay.
you sure?
Oh, yeah, put it right
The
there.
next one is s'more.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Kind of leaky. It's really
We're in a
good.
newsroom. Someone will eat it. Poor Wendy.
Which
Okay.
one's this?
It's a Long John donut with chocolate icing drizzled with marshmallow.
Marshmallow cream topped with graham cracker crumbs and mini marshmallows. That's a lot going on.
Anita, did you taste?
No, I'm.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
You're
why aren't
sneaking
you
out,
doing
or
it?
what's
Well,
up? Am I your replacement
yes,
taster?
and you and
Okay,
Jasmine
great,
are
thank
because
you.
I'm not going to be here Friday.
Oh, okay.
This is a lot
Okay.
going on this one.
Okay, ready? Little bites, little bites.
I'm not a big marshmallow fan.
Eat around it.
I'm going in.
She's going in. Jasmine's going in. Okay. Are you guys going to remember how you're scoring all
Yeah,
these?
I'll remember.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
We only have 4 minutes left.
Oh, gosh.
We don't have to eat them all.
Okay.
The Wicked Eye Donut
That's
of
the one
Bashas.
I'm looking for
Okay.
too. Because it has Oreo and coconut.
It's
I
half
love
green
Oreos.
icing with Oreo crumbles, half pink icing with coconut flakes.
This one's kind of like a.
This is a delicious, spontaneous treat.
What is it?
Wicked.
Wicked. Oh,
Wicked,
yeah.
yes.
Oh.
Okay, this one's got coconut.
Okay.
Linda saying, "Speak into your mics, please." We're trying.
We're trying, Linda. We're
The show's
trying.
off the
Sorry.
rails, Linda.
I know. Not today, Linda. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
I like the coconut.
Oh,
I got the
you
Oreo.
got a little bit of both.
I got, yeah, it's pretty good.
I like the frosting on top.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
A latte sugar buttercream filled donut combined chocolate coffee frosting drizzled with caramel and a ganache of espresso bean.
There
Oh,
was a bean
Ooh.
on top, but I cut it.
okay.
Coffee and donuts.
I like
No.
that. That sounds.
There's
I love
nothing
that.
better.
Okay.
This one's messy.
Oh,
Wow. Oh, that is like filled.
there's a lot going on with that one.
Is that? Oh my God.
Right?
Oh.
That's a lot. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Really put my finger in it.
Save me one of
Okay.
those for later.
Okay. Well, then
Okay.
I'll do it.
Dave, do you want some of this? Come on, you can have
This
some of
stays
us.
on
We'll eat
the
whatever,
internet?
whatever's in the box, we'll eat. That looks good.
Oh, that has
That looks really good.
Okay.
Okay.
I
We
need like
needed
a.
a water.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Napkins.
Sherry says we're gonna be bouncing off the wall. True, sis.
That's
we're gonna
very
be
Really?
true.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow,
So
that's
we
that's
have
really good.
chocolate covered pretzel donut. This is
Okay.
Braxton, age 16. Chocolate frosted donut sprinkled with chopped pretzels.
Whoa.
That one's so
Sugar
pretty.
rush.
It is
That
pretty.
one is pretty. Okay. I'll
Okay,
put this
yeah, that's
down.
I think that the salt and sugary mix is going to be
Oh,
very
it's
delicious.
so cute. It's got the actual
It's
little pretzels
cute.
on it.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
I want a big one.
Well,
We'll just
They did that to me earlier.
Rip it in half. Just rip it in half.
Dave,
Okay.
come here. Here you go. Take that one. Sounds great. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I hear the crunching. Oh, I hear the crunching.
It's like ASMR.
Oh, I hear the crunching.
Okay.
So a couple weeks ago, my tooth
Oh, that's
cracked.
pretty good. The salt.
1 minute. 1
one
minute.
minute left.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh my
there's
God.
time for one more.
okay.
Let's
Last-
go with peach cobbler crunch because it's a little different. Peach vanilla frosted donut topped with a mix of donut crumbs and cinnamon sugar.
go, go, go.
Okay,
Ty.
go. Go, Ty. You just do it.
Ty. Good. Oh. Okay.
Okay. Hurry up.
So we're voting. These will be available. Bashus is coming back Friday, and we're going to talk
With
a
the
little bit
finalists.
more about when, where, how
Those are
you
pretty
can
good.
eat all of these. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Wendy,
What are we
thanks
doing
for coming
tomorrow?
in.
Yeah, thank you
you.
guys.
Your
Thank you so
website
much
one
for
more
having
time.
me. EccleseBeauty.com.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you
Okay.
full?
Yeah, kind
She
of.
did
I mean,
not
I could
expect
finish
this.
one. I could finish one.
Blood sugar's through the roof, but
yeah,
we're doing
exactly.
great.
Exactly.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
We're getting low.
that has that more concentrated area where if the hand hit it, 300 to 400 pounds of force could break it. Is there any part, for example, the edge of the license plates, above the license plates, the L symbol that sticks out that would be concentrated? Anything you see there, could 300 to 400 pounds of force contacting at any of those points cause a fracture of any of the bones of the hand?
So, I don't know how to show this because in the middle photograph, right where the 2 is on the license plate,
yes,
there's a vertical edge. That area is recessed in. So if you hit right on that vertical edge, that could potentially do it.
That could do it. How about the L of for the Lexus symbol if the hand is there?
No, it's not deep enough. The compliance of the hand is just going to sink into the car.
Is there any other part other than the license plate that the force applied, you would only need 300 to 400 pounds of force to break the hand?
Maybe the exhaust pipe, and potentially if you hand your hand up near the spoiler.
Right, so now let's go from 300 to 400. Let's go to the 2188, which is your number. Use 2188. Is there any place where in 2188 force you could have a